Sarah,
What?
they rescued the second pilot in
Oh,
Iran.
thank God.
Yeah. Oh, friends, we are actually so happy with this.
Yeah.
The US Special Forces did such an amazing, amazing job. I think we are all proud of them. And we are going to react to a video basically explaining this operation.
Okay.
This gentleman ended up being a pilot of a F-15. So
Oh, interesting.
it will
Okay.
be very interesting to see his perspective. But say hello to our friends.
Hi, guys.
Our friends, thank you so much for all the support. We really appreciate that. That said, Sarah, ask them for the most important thing.
Guys, leave a like, thumbs up.
And if they subscribe,
You make our day.
damn right. Link below. Let's go.
We got him. On April 5th, 2026, day 37 of Operation Epic Fury, U.S. Special Forces rescued the second crew member of the F-15E fighter jet that was shot down over Iran. Saturday's operation was conducted by a specialized commando unit with a high volume of air cover. The U.S. forces unleashed a hail of heavy fire, and that all of the forces are now out of Iran. This was
Okay, I have to be honest here. They know this, but I reacted to this video yesterday on the live. But the video was so good that I really wanted to show this video to you. This will be a movie in a couple of years.
Really?
Really, this will be a movie. What they did here, it was incredible. The second pilot, it was stayed in Iran for 38 hours, more or less, alone. You know, it's kind of crazy. And a lot of people thought that it was looking a bit bad. You know, maybe Iran will get him, maybe he's dead.
Right.
So it was crazy. That's why this operation was so impressive, because it went against all the odds. And I don't think any other country in the world would be able to pull this off. You know? It's actually crazy.
Wasn't just some easy pickup though. This happened right in the heart of the incredibly rugged Zagros Mountains in southwestern Iran. In the Chamahar and Bakhtari province near Dishat, we're talking steep, jagged ridgelines topping over 7,000 feet, deep, rocky valleys, loose shale slopes, and unforgiving high-altitude terrain that's perfect for hiding, but absolutely hell for moving fast, especially when you're injured and being hunted by the IRGC. This video will reach.
Sorry, and the US regime end up saying to the people of Iran, if you guys get him, we pay you, you know.
Okay.
And a lot of Iran people searching for the pilot, trying to get him.
Oh my God.
No,
what situation. Oh my God.
This was crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
Count the actual rescue operation of the F-15E WSO. And President Trump posted this. He said, "We got him. My fellow Americans, over the past several hours, the United States military pulled off one of the most daring search and rescue operations in U.S. history for one of our incredible crew member officers, who also happens to be a highly respected colonel and who I am thrilled to let you know is now safe and sound." This brave warrior was behind enemy lines in treacherous mountains of Iran, being hunted down by our enemies who were getting closer and closer by the hour. But he was never truly alone because of his Commander-in-Chief, Secretary of War, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and fellow warfighters were monitoring his location 24 hours a day and diligently planning for his rescue. But the IRGC wanted to get him first. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps was searching the entire area, including using their elite units and local militias. They swarmed the Black Mountain area with everything they had. Villagers were even offered big cash rewards by Tehran to join the hunt and turn in the American
like
for
a bounty.
major propaganda.
But this shows how much the regime does not care about their own people, because they knew that U.S. Special Forces probably will try to rescue him.
To fight?
To fight with them, And of course, the civilians would have no chance against the U.S. Special Forces. I don't know for sure, but I assume a lot of civilians end up being dead trying to fight the special forces. I guess we can say that they did this because they wanted the money, but this just shows that the regime does not even care about the people, you know.
To win for Iran. but America answered the call with overwhelming force. Elite special operations teams, including Air Force Special Warfare Pararescue Men, the legendary PJs so that others may live is their motto, and Naval Special Warfare Development Group operators were on the ground as well. Integrated team of special operators making it happen. Likely Delta Force could have been involved, Army Rangers, Green Berets, and then backed by the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, also known as the Night Stalkers. They fly the MH-6, the AH-6 Little Birds for lightning fast insertions, fire support, HH-60W Jolly Green helicopters for heavy combat rescue airlift, and A-10 Thunderbolt IIs overhead for brutal close air support. And this video right here is said to be the actual final firefight. This is the final scene with likely A-10s rolling in, striking down some of these combatants that are trying to get to the F-15E WSO before U.S. forces. A massive firefight took place. MQ-9 Reaper drones were overhead. And speaking of MQ-9 Reapers, this report just came in.
But the thing is, what they did in Venezuela, it was impressive, but I think this is more impressive.
Yes, it is.
Because this is...
They risk their life for one life.
Ah, yeah, no,
Yeah,
but
I admire that.
No,
yeah.
but the Americans are like that. No one is left behind, and it's something so beautiful, honestly.
Yes, it is.
But the thing here is that in Venezuela, it was impressive, but it was like a surprise, kind of, you know. But here, the Iran military was kind of ready for them, and they still went in and ended up being able to do this operation very successful, you know.
Yes.
This was incredible.
MQ-9 Reaper drones protected the rescued F-15E crew member by striking Iranian military-aged males believed to be a threat who got within 3 kilometers of the airmen. A person familiar with the operation told Air and Space Forces magazine this exact quote. MC-130J Commando 2 transports slipped into austere strips deep behind enemy lines, and likely even F-15E fighters going out to protect their member of their squadron, plus A-10s, F-35s, other birds up ahead providing air cover and jamming Iranian systems and signals and communications from Tehran to the IRGC. And President Trump also said this. He said, "We have rescued the seriously wounded and really brave F-15 crew member officer from deep inside the mountains of Iran. The Iranian military was looking hard in big numbers and getting close. He is a highly respected colonel. This type of raid is seldom attempted because of the danger to man and equipment. It just doesn't happen. The second raid came after the first one, where we rescued the pilot in broad daylight, also unusual, spending several hours over Iran. An amazing show of bravery and talent by all." This was one of the most daring search and rescue operations in U.S. history, and it reminds the world that the U.S. will never leave an American warfighter behind. No Americans were killed in the operation. The WSO injured but safe, and U.S. forces.
Honestly, Hollywood is going to make so much money with this, you know, because they will make a movie about this. It's impossible. This type of operation, I was watching something earlier today that someone said that this type of operation, if we see this in a movie, we think it's fake. Okay, come on. But you know, reality sometimes is even crazier than movies.
Exactly.
Total dominance. Today we're walking through every fact that we know and the full story of how this daring rescue operation culminated in the safe rescue of this weapon systems operator, but it did culminate in one of the biggest firefights during a rescue operation in U.S. history. And this going down is going to change everything that we've heard about U.S. special operations versus the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. So it all started April 3rd, 2026, when that F-15E Strike Eagle was taken down by Iranian fire over the Zagros Mountains near Dishat. Wreckage photos surfaced fast as Iranian forces claimed the kill of the shootdown. Both the pilot and the highly respected colonel ejected safely, but they were separated on the ground. They ejected at altitude so the winds can change the trajectory of those parachutes. They could land a mile or two away. The pilot was rescued the next day in an initial CSAR push, but the HH-60W Jolly Green helicopters that got the pilot took incoming fire and were damaged severely. Even crew members on those helicopters were wounded, but they made it back to base safely. U.S. officials stayed quiet on the second rescue to protect the colonel while he was evading. Meanwhile, IRGC units behind the scenes and locals around the Black Mountain were actively hunting the colonel with bounties on his head of $60,000 US, turning the entire region into a high-stakes game of cat and mouse. U.S. intelligence, including CIA assets, kept constant eyes on the colonel, weapons systems officer the whole time. But the colonel's solo survival story in those brutal mountains is even more incredible than what you can imagine. Let's step into the colonel's boots. This part is pure inspiration, and it shows why SEER, Survival Evasion Resistance Escape Training, is worth every second and every penny that the U.S.
Okay, so the thing is, the pilot, was very well prepared because, you are alone in Iran.
Yeah, and it seems difficult to hide in
but-
that mountains.
No, it's very difficult. I think this is what this gentleman is going to explain right now. They are prepared for this. Of course, when it happens, kind of like, okay, all the preparation, let's see if this works. But he ended up being able to hide himself very well. Shows, I guess he said that all the money they spent on this type of preparation, teaching them all of this is worth it because, it ended up working here. It's crazy. Everything about this operation is crazy, to be fair. The timing, the fight, in the mountains of Iran, it's everything here is crazy, to be fair.
Evasion Resistance Escape Training is worth every second and every penny that the U.S. military spends on it. After ejecting, the colonel hits the rocky ground hard, sustains injuries, but instantly switches into full evasion mode. He moves away from the burning wreckage as quickly as possible, using the steep terrain to break line of sight with IRGC search parties. He climbs through those jagged 7,000-foot ridge lines under the cover of darkness, choosing rocky crevices and shale slopes that make tracking difficult for ground teams or dogs. He avoids open areas and villages as best he can, staying high where patrols are less likely to move fast and capture him. From his perspective, it probably went something like this. The cold mountain air cut deep, ankle or leg throbbing from the landing, but SEER kicks in immediately. Ditch the chute and anything that could reflect light or make noise, then start moving uphill away from the crash site. Slow, deliberate, using every shadow and ridge line to stay hidden. Find a
No, I also didn't know about this, but basically end up using shadows in the mountains. It's more dark here.
Smart.
They are very well prepared at the end of the day. But again, when it happens, it's a different beast. It's a different story. But it worked, so.
good crevice, settle in, and activate the Combat Survivor Evader Locator Beacon. No long voice calls that enemies could triangulate, just short encrypted data bursts via satellite that frequency hop and look just like noise to the enemy. Send preloaded messages, injured but mobile, enemy active nearby, request extraction window ASAP. That combat survival...
This is something that I don't understand that well, but I believe that he is able to send some type of communication, but is encrypted, so Iran may not understand.
Okay.
But this is different.
Maybe they don't have the right machine for detect.
Yeah, I know. I think
wave.
the message is like encrypted, kind of like secret type of message.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, it's difficult to understand this type of technology. I don't know, because if Iran sees that, they know. I don't understand this that well.
Radio, that's the silent lifeline. Boeing built an ejection proof. It keeps CENTCOM updated in real time without compromising the colonel's position. So here's what the colonel likely did. Rationed his water, ate some of the emergency food. Got to keep the energy levels high so you can stay mobile and keep moving fast to stay away from those IRGC patrols. But you also need to stay motionless for hours when you hear those IRGC vehicles or voices echoing up from the valleys below. Then relocate only when it's safe. Climb higher or shift to new cover to throw off the search. Bounty hunters, militias, IRGC special ops are out there trying to get you, drones possibly scanning ridges. But trust your training, the seer, the deception operations that are going on behind the scenes to feed the enemy information that you've already been extracted. Nearly 48 hours of pure discipline, minimal movement by day, careful navigation by night, conserving energy while your body fights the pain and the cold. But this colonel knew he was never truly.
Yeah, I would love to know the story of this
Yeah.
pilot. You know, I would love to see him, you know, telling what he thought, what he felt
In
at the moment.
in an interview.
In
Yeah.
an interview, yeah. Again, this will be a movie, I'm pretty sure, but it will be great to understand his perspective.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy story, honestly. Honestly, another thing, I think this was good for Iran for one reason. If they end up killing him, I think America would go crazy on Iran.
Yeah. Don't
know.
mess with Americans.
I think America would go crazy.
Yeah, right.
So I think this was the best scenario for everyone, basically.
Yes.
You know? We end up we end up seeing the news, and I mean, we end up suffering a bit with this because we thought, maybe the guy could be dead at this point. So this was great news, you know.
Alone. The president, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, secretary of war, and other war fighters from his unit and from Special Operations Forces are out there, ready to scoop him up when the time is right. As soon as the WSO confirmed that he was alive through the different techniques and tactics that you use for SEER, CENTCOM went into full go mode. Presidential Task Force spins up a massive Joint Special Operations unit to go in and get the colonel. The prep was lightning fast but razor sharp. Intelligence briefs on IRGC movements, rehearsals on similar mountainous terrain at forward bases, and contingency plans for everything from sand traps to heavy contact to IEDs, improvised explosive devices. On the ground, you had Air Force Special Warfare Pararescuemen, the PJs that live by the motto so that others may live. Teamed up with Navy SEALs, elite commandos from Delta Force, and also Green Berets. In the air, the one
He sent the best of the best there. You know, Navy SEALs, Delta Force, Green
I
Beret.
admire that. Yeah.
Damn.
They don't.
Quit on people.
Yeah.
You know, no. I
They
mean,
spend.
no matter what. I mean,
Yeah.
that pilot life is worth all the money in the world, you know, before them. And I admire that,
Yeah,
you know.
I respect that.
They say no one is left behind, you know, and they end up showing that again.
Yeah.
60th SOAR Night Stalkers brought the MH6s, those little birds. Also, you have HC-130J Combat King.
But we have to be real. I think some countries with, I mean, we have to be honest, would say, yeah, the guy's probably done at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. I mean, what America did here is, that's why I think Americans are so patriotic, you know, because they show this even in moments, you know, that are so tough to believe that they still believe, they still have fight.
Yeah.
MH6s, those little birds. Also, you have HC-130J Combat King tankers for refueling, and MC-130J Commando 2 transports that can land on rough strips deep in enemy territory and get everybody out. Reports are saying, and also this video right here from inside of Iran is a sighting of a C-295W from the secretive Air Force Special Operations Command's 427th Special Operations Squadron flying at low altitude over Iran during the operation. This is a rare glimpse of the highly specialized platform supporting deep penetration missions. And then overhead, A-10 fighters with their GAU-8 cannons, MQ-9 Reaper drones for eyes in the sky, plus surveillance and electronic warfare aircraft jamming Iranian radars and comms. This was years of training and investment coming together in real time. But none of that prep would have mattered without the intense close-quarter battle that erupted once the teams hit the ground. Under the cover of darkness late on April 4th, stretching into the early morning hours of April 5th, 2026, the rescue package went in deep, straight into contested territory south of Isfahan, near missile bases, nuclear sites, and Iranian assets. Night Stalker helicopters inserted the Special Operations ground teams near the WSO's hide site in the mountains around Dasht and Black Mountain. Reapers and strike aircraft provided overwatch, while the team linked up with the colonel in his hiding spot, stabilized him right there, and started moving him out. But that's when Iranian forces, who had been hunting them relentlessly, closed in hard on the extraction site, triggering a massive firefight. U.S. Special Operations unleashed a high volume of heavy suppressive fire, fighting with everything they had so that others may live. Also, A-10C Thunderbolts up overhead rolled in with devastating close air support, while Little Birds added rockets and mini gunfire. It was fierce and close quarters, and there's rumors of burned out Little Bird wrecks at the crash site,
This is
showing
an
exactly
action
how
movie.
No, yeah, this is great. Yeah.
God.
No, I mean, can you imagine, even being, I don't know, a soldier from the, I don't know, the Navy, or not the Navy, the SEAL team, or Air Force, not Air Force, Airborne, sorry. And they tell you, yeah, you need to go to Iran, deep inside of the mountains. There will be people waiting for you, but you have to go there. It's of course there is the team. They go with brothers, of course, but it's crazy. I mean, that's why it's insane when people don't respect this type of people, because I mean, can you do what they do? You know what I mean? I can't. No.
how hot the engagement got in the Dadasht area. This was one of the deepest penetrations into defended Iranian territory in modern times. Iranian forces actively trying to stop the rescue, but warriors from the USA held the line. They protected the colonel and kept the fight under control. But after that firefight, the exfiltration brought its own edge-of-your-seat drama. The rescue force, now with the freed colonel, rendezvoused at the remote, austere Ford airfield and Ford arming refueling point just south of Isfahan. Multiple MC-130J Commando 2 transports landed inside enemy territory to pull everyone out, but two of the MC-130Js got bogged down in the soft sand, wheels sinking in with no safe way out. With Iranian forces closing in, there was zero time to waste. U.S. Special Operations teams rigged demolition charges and destroyed the aircraft in place, setting them ablaze to deny Iran any technology, wreckage, or propaganda win. Thick black smoke rose from the hulks, and burned out Little Birds were also left at the site after their critical role in the fight. The call went out right away. 3 replacement aircraft came in, maybe those 295Ws, loaded the entire force, including the stabilized colonel, and exfiltrated everyone safely out of Iran and back to friendly airspace. Mission complete, no loose ends left behind, proving once again why America's military is the greatest fighting force the world has ever seen. So from
It
the
is the
colonel,
best.
solo evasion.
Yeah. I mean, only haters will. But you need to be them to say it's not the best at this point.
Perspective in those brutal Zagros mountains to the intense firefight and gritty exfil, this operation showcases exactly what makes the U.S. military unmatched. Elite teams executing their operations under fire, world-class aircraft and systems delivering results, and that ironclad American commitment to never leave a warfighter behind. The WSO sustained injuries, but is now safe in friendly territory. So hats off to the rescue teams. So proud of all the different special operations forces and the special aviation units that made this happen, as well as the fighter pilots that were up overhead protecting this whole operation, the drone operators that were the eyes in the sky protecting this weapon systems operator. My hat goes off to all these exceptional warriors that were involved in this operation. What part of this rescue operation are you most fired up about? Let me know in the comments below. Would love to hear what you think, and then go ahead and follow me on X, follow me on Instagram.
Okay, my friends, show him all the love. Great job.
I respect a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
USA military is the best. Definitely is the best.
I mean, this story,
I respect you.
I feel like this is the type of story that I will never forget,
Yeah.
Sometimes things happen, okay, it's crazy, but this one is difficult. I think people will tell this story for, the next 200 years.
Yeah.
It's insane what they did there. Again, of course, the war keeps going.
Of course, yes.
War always bad, but this operation was just
Awesome.
amazing. Awesome. Yeah. Especially because there is a good end to this.
Of course, yes.
But yeah, Sarah, say goodbye to our friends.
Bye, guys.
Bye, my friends.